Why are human beings so easily susceptible to developing addiction? Addiction to substances, and people and circumstances. Why is that? I mean, if you look at humans, there are very, very few exception cases. But for the most part, we could safely say that 99.999% of human beings have a form of addiction to a substance or a human being or a person or someone or something. And if you may look at yourself and be like, but man, I'm sober. It's like, no, you eat. If you're eating food, if you're eating physical food, then you're addicted. Food is a drug, no different than heroin, no different than crack, cocaine, no different than anything. Food is it's another drug. So there we go. By virtue of the vast majority of human beings even eating physical food, what's the percentage of breatharians living? It's like maybe 0.00001%. That leaves the rest of us as addicts. Okay, that leaves the rest of us as using a substance, an external substance that we're massively addicted to, that most of us would die without, just like a heroin addict would die without their heroin if they're really, really severely addicted, which we're severely addicted to food. But then we're also severely addicted to people. That's why when we break up with someone, we experience depression, we experience heartbreak. Oh, I got a butterfly on my big toe. Oh, it's the cutest thing. So, we get addicted to people very, very easily. And so, it could be in a romantic sense, or it could be like a mother, your mother passes away, your father passes away, and then you're a mess. You're depressed. You're a mess. Because you're addicted to other human beings. You're addicted to having other human beings in your life also. So what's going on? What's happening here? What's happening on this planet? What is the human condition? First of all, we have to understand the human condition. We have to understand what's going on. We have to understand ourselves, understand our addictions here. Well, this is where understanding the 7 densities of existence helps. I have like a 53-minute video on it. You could go look it up. It's called the 7 densities of existence. Just look it up on YouTube and type my name beside it. You'll find it. We got the butterfly on the phone now. Hey. So, understand the 7 densities. Basically, third density, which is the density we're experiencing life through at the moment, the current vibration of the planet. But we're moving out of it, but still, we're still in it at the moment. The current vibration of the planet, which it has been the last 75,000 years, we're at the end of the 3rd cycle. Third density, here is okay, if this is a game and there's 7 levels, when you go to level 3, this is how shit goes down in level 3. You experience amnesia. That's just the rules of the game. I didn't write them. They're just the way it is. You experience amnesia, so you don't remember. You're spiritually blind. You don't remember. You don't remember. Okay? You haven't. This is why you've gotta eat your member berries, ladies and gentlemen. You've gotta eat your member berries so you can remember. Because if you ain't eating the member berries, you're not gonna remember. So, the amnesia is very strong in 3rd density. That's the rule of the game. So whenever a being incarnates in 3rd density, their memory is wiped out. So you're spiritually blind. You're working against the odds here. So you're spiritually blind. So you're in the illusion of separation. This is the 3rd density. 3rd density is illusion. It's the density. It is the density of illusion. And what makes this illusion possible is the amnesia. And so it's probably the most difficult level to play the game. The 3rd level. Probably the most difficult. Because the amnesia. So it's like you're working against the odds. It's like try put on a blindfold and let's see how you go on about your life. Get in your car, drive your car. You're not gonna make it very far. You're not gonna make it very far, and that's basically the third level of the game, third density. We're putting on blindfolds. So that makes the illusion possible. So then you're in this illusion of separation. You think you're separate. You believe you're in the individual identity. You believe in the individual self, the thought of you, the identity of you. You believe in it very strongly. You're under the spell of separation, and that creates lack and need and want and desire. So you could make the statement, third density is the plane of lack, third density is the plane of need, and that would be a very accurate statement. And because third density is the plane of lack and need, when you experience yourself as a human being, a third density being, you experience lack, you experience need, you experience want, pretty much at heightened levels. So your need is heightened, your desires are heightened, your wants are heightened, your feeling of lack is heightened. And so you begin to develop addictions to external substances. And every time you act on that addiction and you attach more to it, you cling on more to it, you're taking a bigger substance, because you're whole, you're complete, you're one. And it is up to you to realize it. See, depending on the maturity of your soul, some souls require many more incarnations, many more trials. They have to just many more spawns. You know, an incarnation, you can think of it as a spawn in the game. You know, when you play in Call of Duty and you die, you spawn again, you go again, and the more you spawn, the more you try, the more you play, the better you get at the game. So some people are just gonna require many spawns before they begin to realize their wholeness, their oneness. Because when we desire, when we want, when we need, when we lack, we suffer. And when we suffer enough, we say, that's it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't want to suffer anymore. And when you say, I don't want to suffer anymore because you've suffered so much, then you begin to realize the oneness. You begin to realize the wholeness. You begin to realize your true essence. You begin to realize that you're whole, you're perfect, and everything is perfect. And that you're living in abundance at all times. And when you begin to realize that, and you begin to realize that, hey, I'm connected to everything, everything is provided for me, and then you begin to relinquish your desires naturally, your feelings of lack and need, you begin to feel whole, truthfully feel whole, and you could you know that you're feeling whole because you feel like you're in joy, you're living in joy. You don't want as much. You don't want to eat as much. You don't want to drink as much. You don't want validation from others. You're not desiring. You're not seeking. Then you know that you're realizing your true essence, and that's when the game gets really interesting, when you begin to play at those levels. Until then, remember, most humans are third density souls, so they're still early players in the game, still in the early stages. Most humans are living under the massive spell of separation. Therefore, they're living under the massive spell, massive illusion of need and lack. This is the plane of lack. Most beings are in lack. Like dogs, for example. Last couple of weeks, I said in the previous video, but I'll say it again. I was hanging out dogs because, I was living in this place. There's a lot of dogs around, and these two dogs came and they just hang out with me for 2 weeks. They slept here. They just came hang around here all day, all night. They just go get the food and the water, wherever they went, and they'd come back. And you could see it in them. Like, the dogs will come to me and they want my approval. They want my love, because they're second density beings. So any time you're in those lower densities, your lower chakras, you're living in need, in the illusion of separation, in the illusion of need. So I can see the dogs coming to me. They want the love. The dog one of them just comes and stands there until I start to pet him. And then I pet him, and then he wants more of it, because they're also living in the illusion of need. I need love, I need approval, I need human approval, I need human love. So when you're a third density, second density being, you're in that illusion. You're in the illusion of lack. I need something, I lack something, I lack love. As the dog, you think I lack love, so I need it from a human. You see? So human beings, most humans are third density souls. So same thing. They're also in the illusion of lack and need. So they seek it in external substances. So then that's why most humans are massively addicted to one thing or another. Even the most sober ones are still addicted to food. They just don't know that food is just a drug, like any other drug, really. So, but then again, most of us are addicted to people as well, other human beings. So when we break up with someone, we feel like a piece of us got taken away. Something got taken away. Oh, I can't have any. Oh my God, who's gonna make love to me now? Who's gonna care for me now? Who's gonna call me? Who's gonna call me and ask me if I'm okay? Who's gonna take care of me? Right? Illusion, lack, need, your whole, your peaceful awareness, your whole, everything is provided for you. Let me quickly explain to you the breatharian state here. When you're able to switch over from fossil fuels into subtler forms of energy, everything is provided to you because you're connected to everything. What do I mean by that? You could go take a swim in the ocean or the river, or take a shower in your room, in your house, and your body would soak the water. Okay, it would soak the water from the ocean, from the river, from the waterfall, from the shower. It would take the water and it would soak it. You see, it would soak it. Now let's just say you're gonna take a dip in the ocean or something. There's water all over. Unless you're living in a desert, even then you may find an oasis. So you see how nature provides you with everything that you need to survive. So, a breatharian that doesn't eat, doesn't drink, their body is able to extract the water from different, just from swimming. Or, even better, from the atmosphere. So just by you breathing, you're being nourished, because your body does require water. It's not that you become a breatharian and suddenly you don't need water. It's like, no, you're connected, you're part of everything. It's just your body, it's provided for you already just by breathing. So food, well, same thing. You become like a plant. You're able to get it from the sun. You're able to get it from the atmosphere. You're able to perform photosynthesis. You see? So that's what I mean by everything is provided for you. You're one, you're whole. You're plugged into nature. You're plugged into the Tao at all times. And once you begin to realize that, then you say, well, I don't need as much. I don't lack. I am whole, I am one, I am connected with all things. Everything is provided for me at all times. And everything is provided for you at all times, whether you know it or not. It's the same thing with friends or love, let's say love. In the same way that a dog comes to a human being, seeking their approval, seeking their human love, we do it amongst ourselves, right? So we dress in a certain way, we act in a certain way, we portray ourselves to the society in a certain way so that we could get their approval. So if you're a girl, you're gonna dress in a certain way, you're gonna maybe even get like a boob job or something, right? Because you want to attract the attention of the men, the males in the society, because you feel lack, you feel need, so you feel like I need to attract attention, external attention, so that love could be provided for me, because ultimately you want love and you're seeking it in another human being. The problem with that is most human beings are seeking love from other humans, so you've got a bunch of empty. It's like this. You've got, if we were to look at a human as a cell phone, if let's say you're seeking love from other human beings, so let's say your battery is 50%, and let's say another human being, you meet another guy or girl, and they're pretty much, you can make the assumption that they're also seeking love, and their battery is at 50%. So you've got these two cell phones, 50% and 50%, and they're basically seeking love from one another, but they're not even fully charged. They're like half charged. So they can't even give each other energy. Because they're seeking it from one another, but they're not even full. They're not even fully charged. What you need to do is you need to plug yourself into the socket, my friend. That's the only way you're gonna charge your phone, and that socket is source energy. That's what you need to do. And then when you plug into source energy, you realize, holy shit, it's all here. I am it. I am source. I am love. And then you don't seek it in other humans anymore. You see, but what us humans are doing, that's why we get addicted to one another. When you break up with someone, your world is torn apart. Who's gonna love me now? Who's gonna make love to me? Who's gonna care for me? Who's gonna provide for our baby? Right? Who's gonna provide? You're married. Your husband dies, and you freak out. Who's gonna provide for the baby now? Maybe you don't like your husband as much anymore, so it's not the love that you're concerned with. It's the security and survival and your basic needs that you're concerned with. So then you freak out. You say, oh my God, who's gonna provide for the baby? And you freak out, right? But if you just relax and you realize that don't worry, it's taken care of. You're taken care of. Your baby's taken care of. You're taken care of. Then your husband dies or you get a divorce. You're like, okay, good riddance. All right, good riddance anyway. About time we got divorced. So you see that this is the plane of lack, and so this is why most of us are addicted to this or that, to some form of substance, either in the form of a human or in the form of a chemical substance. Food is a chemical substance, or any substance for that matter. So the more we realize the wholeness, the more we realize the oneness. That cat has been, see now it changed its positions. It has been sleeping, I don't know, for the last 16 hours or something. Still sleeping. So, yeah, that's pretty much why we're addicted. That's the source of our addiction. The source of our addiction is our lack of connection to our source. How about that one? The source of our addiction is our lack of connection to our source. So we start to look for it in finite things, finite experiences, whether it's the experience of a relationship with another human, or whether it's in the form of a food substance, or a cocaine or Adderall, or psychedelics, or any other substance for that matter. Substance. A substance is a substance. So you take a substance because you're basically, anytime you indulge in a substance, in an addiction, you're basically reinforcing to yourself the illusion, the illusory false lie that you're a separate being who has needs. You have no needs. Everything is provided for you. Had you but the clarity to see, had you but the eyes to see. And as you begin to wake up, and as you begin to connect to your source, you begin to realize these things. And it's a gradual process back to the light, back to the source. It doesn't immediately happen where you're like, okay, I don't need anything. All right, that's it. Overnight, I'm a breatharian. Overnight, I can be in solitude and I can be okay. Overnight, I no longer need human contact, or I no longer feel like I need humans in my life, or I no longer feel like I need the people's approval, or I need society's approval, or I need this or that. It doesn't happen like that. It's a gradual process. And you start up, as you wake up, there are different stages in the awakening. And your biggest feedback to how well you're doing in the game is, how do you feel in the moment? How do you feel in the moment? Are you in joy for no reason? If you're in joy for a reason, you got a long way to go. If you're in joy for no reason, because it's all right here, it's all perfect. If you're just in joy for no reason, if you're happy for no reason, you're on the right track. If you're happy for a reason, it's for a reason. Oh, I'm happy. I just met a guy. So sweet. Oh, I'm so happy. It's like, well, okay, good. But what if that guy withdraws his love to you, as often happens? Then how do you feel? Oh, I feel miserable. My heart's broken. I can't trust guys anymore. I can't trust this. And you develop a gloomy attitude about life. If you're happy for a reason, work with it. You got a long way to go still. Work with it. Oh, I'm really happy because they gave me my favorite dessert. I have a cheesecake in front of me. Oh, so happy right now. Okay. All right. Good for you. But what if, what's going to happen if that cheesecake wasn't there? Or what's going to happen the next time you crave something but it's not available? Or what's going to happen when you can't shit in the bathroom and you're clogged up? Are you happy now? See? It's the law of rhythm. If something, what gives takes away equally, right? So something that gives you is going to take away from you equally. But if you're happy in the moment for no reason other than, hey, it's just nice. It's just cool. It's cool. You know, it's just cool just being, right? It's cool. It's cool. There's no reason. It's pretty groovy, isn't it? Being, because that's you. You're being. Your peaceful awareness. Your orgastic awareness, I would even say. I know when I get more into these states, I just laugh for no reason. It's like I'm having an orgasm. Like I'm having an orgasm. No reason. Because your orgasm, you are it. You're bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. Absolute knowledge, absolute existence, absolute bliss. That's what the Hindus call it. So you're it. And so if you find yourself just laughing for no reason, just being, just because you're being, you're on the right track. You're on the right track. Because then you're basically realizing that it's all perfect. It's all whole. There's no need. There's no lack. Until then, you work with your addictions. You work with all these things because they point you towards the light. They make you realize where you're not yet. They make you realize where your attachment is, where your clinging is, where your illusion is. Okay? Gracias to all my amigos and amigas for your support on Patreon, and I would like to thank you guys. I don't want to embarrass myself here. I can only do the Spanish accent for like 5 seconds, then I can't do it anymore. But I could do Tony Montana. I could do the Tony Montana. Okay? So I want to thank you guys for all the support, okay? You're all a bunch of cockroaches. Thank you. If you've got a couple of bucks a month to spare, we have the link for the Patreon in the description. And you can also donate on PayPal one time if you feel inclined to do so. I'm appreciative very much so. Instagram at Saeed Mobayed. And until next time, may the force be with you.